So here's what you need for this one. Sweet potatoes, plant-based butter, some nutmeg and sage, honey, and Parmesan cheese. Okay, so at the risk of looking really ignorant here, Matt, what the heck is a Hasselback potato? Like, what are we even making right now?
We're making a superfood. It is Mental Health Week. We're getting our brain boosting antioxidant health benefits going. So a Hasselback potato. So essentially a sweet potato. What's your thoughts first on a sweet potato, Trace?
Love, love, love them. We use them all the time. We do sweet potato fries. We bake them. We do everything with sweet potatoes. So I'm all good with sweet potatoes.
Excellent. So these are an amazing source of beta carotene. So beta carotene gives it the color, that oranginess to it. So what is a Hasselback? So a Hasselback, it's a funny name. I don't know, it's crazy where things come up with, but essentially what we want to do, Trace, right? It's fun. So I'm going to take a knife, a chef's knife, and I want to make little slits all the way down. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to create like an accordion. Just want to go through about 80% to 90% of our potato. So if you can see what we're doing, we're creating every sort of millimeter, just nice little beautiful sort of cuts. And essentially what we're going to do is, again, we're going to create that accordion. I've already done up quite a few of these, which is great. So I'm going to just skip over the beautiful thing of TV. So I know that you and I talked before about superfoods. These are one of the world's best superfoods you can have. And they might get a bad rap. Like, what's your take on carbs?
Oh,
are you cool with carbs or bad carbs?
No, I'm not even about that. I'm not about that put everything in the bad food category or put things in the good food category. Like, I have wine in the good food category. Because I'm like, you know what, have a little bit of everything. Yes. Have a little bit of everything. Moderation, right? So sweet potato might be a carb, but it's a complex carb, and it's good for your brain. And as you mentioned, beta carotene, like, it's good for you.
It is. And you know what? Your body does need carbs. So I know there's always that battle between, oh, I don't eat carbs. You go out for dinner with somebody and they're like, oh, I can't have that. I'm not eating carbs. I roll my eyes, and you and I can cheers our glass at the dinner table, Trace, and we'll eat our carbs together, and those people will not eat their carbs. But, all jokes aside, they need their carbs. We do need our carbs. They're a complex carb. It's a healthy carb for us. So we're going to make a glaze. I'm a glaze fan. We've done glazed hams, we've done all different things in the past. So I'm using a plant-based butter. So I'm using a cashew butter, which is great. So I've melted that. This is a cultivated one, so it melts really, really well. Fresh sage, teaspoon of nutmeg as well. And then Manuka honey. Here we go. So Manuka honey, typically from New Zealand, comes from the Manuka bush. Really, really great. It is quite pricey because there's a bit of a process to making the actual Manuka honey. But again, it has been linked to natural wonders. And just even if you have a little cut, you could just rub a little bit of Manuka honey on the cut, and it actually pulls out the moisture out of the cut, and it helps it dry, and it will help it heal, which is great. On our baking sheet, I've got the two ready to go, and we're just gonna spoon over that beautiful. You could brush it, but I want to get right into all of this. So there's like a savoriness, there's a sweetness going on. This is that good health. This is the healthy stuff that tastes good. We're gonna put that in the oven. So typically potatoes, sweet potatoes, Yukon potatoes, whatever it might be, is, I would generally go nothing less than an hour. Yeah. And essentially, when that's ready, when essentially you can put a little prick into the actual potato itself, and it's just gonna steam out. The nice thing about sweet potatoes, they almost let you know when they're done. They start oozing some of this like goodness and sort of some of the oils from them. So again, power of TV, Tracy. We're not going to wait for an hour because you and we want to get into this. So now we've baked off a couple of these beautiful Hasselback potatoes, and what you want to do is reserve half of that liquid. So I've got half of that glaze, and if you can just see in this Manuka honey glaze with that sage, so you've got that sweetness, you have the viscosity, you have that herbaceousness of that herb, and then we're going to get a little funky. And I'm going to hit that with just a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano. Nice. And look at what we've got going here. Are you even talking? That is great. What's your thoughts on that little dish right there?
It's amazing. Now, you like this as a snack or lunch, but if we wanted to make this a main dish, what do you think you'd serve it with?
I would serve this with something like a salmon, maybe a poached salmon, super high in omega-3. It's probably one of the highest in terms of our mental health that we can check off the board. I could have this as a lunch and I'm all set.
Yeah, nutrient dense is what we're looking for in these truly strange times. So thank you, MDP. It looks beautiful. Go enjoy that. That recipe is, of course, up on our website, cityline.tv.